San Antonio is famous for their year-round sunny weather, great family entertainment, the Riverwalk, and of course, their San Antonio Spurs basketball team. Many of the people moving here are looking for a place with lower cost of living and big city amenities, and San Antonio definitely accomplishes this feat. We're going to examine San Antonio's population, economy, crime, culture, and much more in this video. Well, enough of my jibber jabber. Let's get started learning about San Antonio, Texas. San Antonio's population is now over 1.5 million residents, which ranks it as the 7th biggest city in America. This may be a bit misleading though, because the city is very spread out. In fact, if you don't count Alaska, San Antonio ranks 8th in land area with a whopping 460 square miles. The median household income is only $52,000. Now, I did mention earlier that the cost of living in San Antonio is really low. The median home price is under $200,000, which is well beneath the nation's average. Now, if you know anything about Texas, you may know that they don't have a state income tax. But before you move here, you should know the government still gets you here too. The average effective property tax rate for Bexar County is almost 81% higher than the national average. So, property values being low doesn't tell the full story. Even if you pay off your house, the property taxes are not going to let up on you anytime soon. Also, the sales tax is above the national average as well, at just over 8%. So, if you can buy into San Antonio while prices are low, you can probably get ahead for the future. San Antonio is not the most dangerous city in the country, but it's definitely got some rough areas of town. The violent crime rate is 63% higher than the national average. And while this isn't very good, the property crime rate is even worse at 105% higher than the nation's average. One article I read suggested 65% of the violent crime in San Antonio is actually drug related and carried out by one of the several gangs in the area. So I would really call around and research where gang activity occurs so you can avoid living in the high-risk areas. If you aren't around those areas, you really should be able to find some places with safer neighborhoods. San Antonio is one of the few cities in America where a minority group outnumbers whites significantly. They're actually outnumbered by more than 2.5 to 1 to Hispanic people. White residents make up 25% of the population. 64% are Hispanic, 6.5% are Black, 2.7% are Asian, 0.1% are Native American, 0.1% is Hawaiian or Pacific Islander, and 1.4% are 2 or more races. You can't walk around San Antonio without feeling how it is influenced by many Hispanic cultures, and it can even be seen at different restaurants, businesses, community organizations, and cultural events. But in addition to this large Hispanic population and influence, San Antonio attracts more tourists than any city in the state of Texas. So you can definitely expect to see lots of outsiders, especially near the Riverwalk and large entertainment venues. Now, Texas has a reputation for being really conservative. But what many people don't realize is actually how liberal most of the big cities are throughout the state. Donald Trump did win the state by a margin of 5.6%. However, San Antonio is a different story. Joe Biden received 58% of the vote for Bexar County, while Donald Trump received 40%. Now, Texas has been trending from red to purple over the past few years, with many people moving in from the outside. So, if these results please you, San Antonio politics are likely to agree with you. If you are conservative, every county surrounding Bexar County went for Donald Trump, so you can move right outside of the area and hang out there if you'd prefer. San Antonio's climate is like many other places in Texas. It's hot. As hot and humid and miserable as summer may be here, there are still some redeeming qualities, like sunny days in San Antonio exceed the nation's average. they receive 33 inches of annual rainfall, and most years they won't get any snow. And the reason for that is the average January low for each year is about 41 degrees. Now, when it comes to their summer, they average a scorching 94 degrees for their annual July highs. So, definitely bring your sunscreen. One criticism some have leveled at San Antonio is that it's boring for a big city. But San Antonio is geared toward families and catering to the needs of those at the military bases. There is a reason that San Antonio is the most visited city in Texas, though. Tourists enjoy going to the Alamo, visiting Six Flags, and viewing the city from above on the Tower of the Americas. And of course, they love going to shops, bars, and restaurants along the famous Riverwalk. Now, locals probably aren't going to the Alamo every day to pay their respects, but they do enjoy going to the local flea markets and farmers markets, cheering on the Spurs, volunteering to aid soldiers and their families, and going downtown on Tuesdays when parking is free and some businesses offer discounts too. I don't know if they're doing this during COVID or not, but that's how it is usually. Now, I have a bonus tip as well. If you or someone you know has a child that struggles with accessibility issues, there's a great water park here called Morgan's Wonderland that has one-of-a-kind accommodations. Definitely check them out. If you're interested in taking day trips from San Antonio, Austin and the beach are obvious answers, and if you're interested in extending your stay maybe for a long weekend, maybe even Houston or Dallas could be a good idea. But what you may not realize is outside of San Antonio is the Texas Hill Country. Golfing, wineries, and beautiful, peaceful nature abound in this gem. Texans are well aware of the region, but if you're not from there, you may not know about it. Before summarizing San Antonio's pros and cons, I wanted to tell you I have links posted in the description for your research convenience. And hey, if you got value from today's video, click that thumbs up button for me and consider subscribing to my channel for more videos like this. San Antonio is a city that has many family-friendly, adult-friendly, and tourist-friendly attractions. But if you're coming from a big city like San Fran or LA, you may be disappointed in some of the nightlife options. But they really offer quite a lot here still. The cost of housing is low, and there are no income taxes. However, the property tax is obscenely high, and the median income is pretty low. San Antonio is above the national average in both violent and property crime. San Antonio is a very Hispanic city, which offers many great cultural opportunities within. The weather is warm and sunny much of the year, and the city leans left by a hefty margin. San Antonio has something for almost anyone, and if you are wanting to move here, it's understandable because San Antonio is a unique and spirited place. Hey, click on one of the videos playing on the end cards for more great content, and if you have any questions, please go ahead and ask away. Don't forget to subscribe, and until next time, take care.